Welcome, everyone, to the Teske Brief. I'm Judge Steven Teske, retired, and in this series titled The Bar Card and Breakdown of Justice, we examine one of the most important stories in American law and government today. What happens when the lawyers entrusted to enforce justice begin to fear the very system that they serve? Now, across this series, we've been exploring and will continue to explore why experienced prosecutors at the Department of Justice are leaving that department, how political pressure can distort legal judgment, and why independent courts and state bars still matter, and what is lost when institutions ask for power that stop earning trust. This is not a story about personalities alone. It is a story about professional duty, constitutional guardrails, and whether the rule of law can withstand the pressures placed upon it. This is episode 9, and it's titled The Loyalty Test. So before we begin, remember this, please. Titles are temporary, power is borrowed, integrity is tested when pressure arrives, and this is the Teske Brief. Welcome back. Every institution says it wants honesty. Then honesty walks into a meeting and says, I think this is a bad idea. And suddenly, honesty is no longer a team player. Welcome to the loyalty test. Healthy organizations reward competence. They reward judgment. They reward people who know what they're doing and are willing to say uncomfortable things before disaster arrives. Unhealthy organizations reward something else: loyalty. Not loyalty to mission, not loyalty to law, not loyalty to the public, but loyalty to personalities, loyalty to preferred outcomes, loyalty measured by how quickly you nod.
The New York Times reports that U.S. attorneys' offices lost a whopping 14% of their headcount in 2025. A one-year drop unlike any in recent memory. The Times adds that those that are joining the Justice Department are effectively taking a loyalty test. More from the Times report, quote, how would you help advance the president's executive orders and policy priorities in this role? Read one of the queries on an application for a job in the U.S. Attorney's Office in Minnesota. In fact, Team Trump has made it explicit. Work in the Justice Department and you work for Donald Trump. One former aide to Attorney General Pam Bondi tweeted this, quote, if you are a lawyer and interested in being an AUSA and support President Trump and anti-crime agenda, DM me. That's real, not The Onion.
There's a huge difference between professionalism and a loyalty test. Professionalism asks, did you do the work honestly? Did you apply your expertise? Did you tell the truth even when it was awkward? A loyalty test asks, did you protect the boss? Did you repeat the narrative? Did you keep your concerns where no one could hear them? Those are different questions, and they create very different workplaces. Now, this matters everywhere. A loyalty culture at a sandwich shop is unfortunate. You may get the wrong mustard. A loyalty culture inside the Department of Justice is different. Those people can investigate citizens, bring charges, seek prison sentences, freeze assets, change lives. So when that kind of institution starts rewarding obedience over judgment, the issue is no longer office morale, it's public danger. And this shift is never announced. No member says, effective immediately, integrity will be replaced by sycophancy. No training video opens with, welcome to compliance through fear. It happens quietly. The careful lawyer gets excluded. The skeptical analyst gets labeled negative. The person asking for more evidence becomes difficult. Meanwhile, the person who says, absolutely, sir, keeps getting promoted. Soon everyone learns the real policy manual. It just isn't written down. That's the thing people miss. Most institutional decline doesn't require evil masterminds. It just requires incentives. Reward flattery long enough, and honest people stop volunteering truth. Reward aggression long enough, and caution starts looking weak. Reward silence long enough, and eventually nobody remembers how to speak. That's how organizations become dysfunctional while still looking very organized. This is especially dangerous with prosecutors because skepticism is part of the job. A prosecutor should question weak evidence, challenge assumptions, look for missing facts, disclose what cuts against the case. That can feel inconvenient if leadership wants speed, certainty, or a headline by lunch. But those inconvenient habits are exactly what justice depends on. When skepticism becomes suspicious, the institution has reversed itself. And let me say something unpopular. Strong leaders should want disagreement. If every person in the room agrees instantly, one of two things is happening. Either you hire clones or everyone is afraid. Neither is a management strategy. It's a warning label because leaders surrounded only by praise become detached from reality, and reality always collects eventually, usually with interest. There's also the human toll. People in loyalty cultures learn quickly. Truth has consequences. Silence is safer. Performance is rewarded. So some stay quiet, some adapt, and some leave. Then the people who leave get called disloyal. Maybe. Or maybe they were the last people still loyal to the institution's actual purpose. That's why safeguards matter. Protected dissent, merit-based promotion, independent oversight, real ethics rules, transparent processes. These aren't bureaucratic decorations, folks. They are how serious institutions prevent themselves from becoming fan clubs with badges.
And just that sense of integrity. You saw it with people like Danielle Sassoon, who resigned over the dismissal of the Eric Adams case. I think her courage really galvanized a lot of people in the department to protect their oaths. But that was something that people really used to take seriously in the department, was a real commitment to nonpartisanship and to their oath to the Constitution. In this administration, the message that we consistently received is that your oath to the Constitution is not what's most important. It's your loyalty to what we want to do. They were not interested in impartial advice about what the Constitution does or does not say. They wanted a pathway to do what they wanted to do anyway, whether it was lawful or not.
Every institution has leaders. The real question is, what do they reward? Truth or convenience? Judgment or flattery? Integrity or performance art? Those answers determine whether talented people speak freely, leave quietly, or survive by pretending. And when loyalty becomes the path to advancement, competence becomes optional. When competence becomes optional, failure is just a matter of scheduling. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Judge Steven Teske, retired, and this is the Teske Brief. The moment truth becomes disloyalty, well, decline has already begun. Until the next episode, y'all take care. Be safe. Bye.